It was a normal day on Earth. People were working, children were playing, and the world was calm. But then, something strange happened. The sky began to change. It turned dark, not like night, but like something huge was covering the sun. At first, people thought it was just a storm. But it wasn't. A deep humming sound came from above. Windows shook. Birds flew away in panic. Then, the clouds split open, and everyone saw them. Massive alien ships floating in the sky like giant metal monsters. Hundreds of them. They moved slowly, silently, casting shadows over entire cities. In Tokyo, people stopped in the streets, looking up. A child pointed at the sky and said, "Mom, what is that?" No one had an answer. All around the world, people were watching the same thing. News channels stopped regular programs. Cameras showed the alien ships above Paris, New York, Delhi, and London. The world held its breath. Then, everything went quiet. Phones stopped working. Internet signals died. Satellites in space went dark. Airports lost contact with planes. Governments tried to talk to the ships, but the aliens didn't reply. 5 minutes later, a beam of blue light came from the largest ship above Tokyo. It hit the ground with a loud sound. Boom! And in seconds, half the city was gone. Just gone. Screams filled the air. Fire spread. Buildings fell like toys. The attack had started. Military jets tried to rise, but they were shot down before they even reached the clouds. Earth's weapons were useless. Nothing could touch the alien ships. People ran, but there was nowhere to hide. In Washington, leaders gathered in bunkers. One general said, "This is not an invasion. It's a cleanup." In less than an hour, 20 major cities were hit. Millions of lives lost, and still, the aliens didn't speak a single word. No warning. No reason. No mercy. The sky wasn't the sky anymore. It was the enemy. And in that moment, humanity realized the truth. This was not the beginning of a war. It was the end of Earth as they knew it. The attack was relentless. Cities burned, and Earth's defenses crumbled. People ran, hiding in basements, bunkers, and underground shelters. The world was no longer safe. The alien ships hovered above, their shadows stretching across every corner of the planet. The hope that humans had once clung to, that they could survive anything, was slipping away. In a hidden military base beneath the mountains of Colorado, General Carter stared at the large screen in front of him. It showed the live images of cities falling, the bright flashes of alien weapons decimating everything in their path. He clenched his fists, feeling the weight of responsibility. This was his last chance to save humanity. He had just received a message from the president. "We need to strike back. The entire world is counting on you. But we need something powerful, something no alien ship has seen before." Carter knew what that meant. The scientists at the base had been working on a top-secret project for years, a weapon that could challenge the invaders. It was called Project Black Sun, and it was humanity's last hope. The plan was simple but risky. The weapon could disrupt the aliens' control over their ships and systems. But to launch it, they needed to get close. Closer than any human had ever been to the alien mothership. If they failed, Earth would be lost forever. Carter turned to his team of elite soldiers, who had gathered in the command room. Among them was Captain Riley, the best pilot on Earth. She had flown missions in the toughest conditions. But nothing like this. The mission was dangerous, and they would be up against an enemy with technology far beyond anything humanity had ever seen. "We have one shot at this," General Carter said, his voice steady but filled with urgency. "We get one team inside the mothership. If we succeed, Earth stands a chance. If we fail, we don't have a second chance." Riley nodded. She wasn't afraid. She knew what had to be done. But the fear in the eyes of the other soldiers was clear. They all knew that, if they didn't stop the aliens, no one would survive. In the distance, the sky above them darkened once more as the alien ships drew closer. The countdown had already begun. Time was running out, and as the soldiers prepared to board their stolen alien craft, a young pilot named Eva, who had lost everything in the attacks, made a discovery that would change everything. She had found something the aliens had hidden, something that could turn the tide of the war. But the question was, would she have enough time to reveal the secret? Eva stood in the wrecked alien ship, her heart racing. The air was thick with tension, and the faint smell of burnt metal filled her nose. Around her, the sounds of war still echoed. Explosions in the distance, the whirring of alien ships above, and the screams of humanity in chaos. But she had found something. Something that could change everything. The ship she had stumbled upon was different. Unlike the massive motherships that hovered over Earth, this one had crash-landed in the middle of what was once a city. The alien technology inside it was unlike anything she had ever seen. The walls seemed to pulse with life, glowing with an eerie blue light. But it wasn't just the ship that had caught Eva's attention. It was the thing inside. She moved quickly through the wreckage, her boots crunching on the alien debris. The cargo hold was a mess of twisted metal and glass. But there, in the corner, was a figure, a creature. Unlike the other alien invaders, this one looked different. It was hurt, lying motionless on the ground, but it wasn't fully dead. Eva hesitated. She had been trained to kill aliens on sight, to protect humanity at all costs. But something about this one felt different. She took a step forward, her hand trembling as she reached for her weapon. But before she could pull the trigger, the alien moved. Its eyes opened, glowing faintly. It looked at her, not with the cold, menacing stare of the others, but with something else. Something almost human. "Please," the alien said, its voice weak and strained. "I am not your enemy." Eva froze. She had heard alien voices before, but none had ever spoken to her like this. This wasn't an attack. This was a plea. I can help," the alien continued, its words slow and labored. "The invasion, it was a mistake. I never wanted this." Eva's mind raced. Could this be true? Was this alien really different from the others? She had no time to think. Earth was falling apart. Cities were burning. Millions were dead. But something deep inside her told her that this alien might hold the key to saving them all. "I know how to stop the war," the alien said, struggling to sit up. "But you have to trust me. I am Norak. My people have been divided. Some of us do not want to destroy your world." Eva was torn. Everything she knew told her to destroy it, to finish what the military had started. But if what X-Rex said was true, then maybe, just maybe, there was a chance for peace. "Tell me how to stop this," she whispered, her voice trembling. Cyrek's eyes softened, and with a weak smile, he spoke the words that would change everything. "You need to get to the mothership. There, you will find what you need to end it all. But you must be quick. The invasion is far from over." The weight of the decision pressed down on Eva's shoulders. If she believed him, it meant putting her trust in an alien. If she didn't, humanity would face certain extinction. But one thing was clear. If there was any hope, this was it. Eva took a deep breath. "Then let's end this." And with that, the fate of Earth was in her hands. The alien mothership hovered above Earth, casting an ominous shadow over the planet below. From its dark belly, waves of smaller ships darted out like deadly insects, attacking cities, wiping out any remaining resistance. The world had fallen into chaos, but there was still a flicker of hope. Eva had the plan, the only plan that might work. She stood in the underground command center, surrounded by military leaders, scientists, and soldiers. The walls were lined with screens, showing the devastation across the globe. General Carter stood beside her, watching as the last of humanity's military forces were being crushed by the alien onslaught. "We don't have much time," Carter said, his voice grim. "The mothership is protected by a shield, and we can't break through it with anything we have. Eva, you're our last hope. The virus you're carrying, will it work?" Eva nodded, her mind focused. It has to. The virus, developed by the scientists who had been working on Project Black Sun, was their only chance. If she could upload it into the mothership's core, it would disable its systems and stop the invasion. But getting inside the ship would be the hardest part. The aliens were everywhere, guarding the ship with terrifying efficiency. Eva's hands tightened around the controls of the alien ship she was now flying. She had been trained to pilot human spacecraft, but this alien vessel was unlike anything she had ever encountered. The controls were unfamiliar. The technology advanced far beyond Earth's own. She had to rely on the instructions Cyrek had given her, a secret escape route inside the mothership. Behind her, Captain Riley and her team of elite soldiers prepared for the assault. They were ready for anything, even knowing that only a handful of them might make it out alive. This wasn't about survival anymore. It was about saving what was left of humanity. "Are you ready?" Riley asked, her voice steady. Eva didn't reply at first. Her eyes were fixed on the glowing red lights ahead, signaling the entry point to the mothership's defenses. Every instinct told her to turn back, to give up. But she couldn't. Earth was counting on her. She couldn't let the millions of lives lost so far be in vain. The ship's engines roared to life as she accelerated toward the mothership. The alien fighters moved to intercept them, but Eva expertly dodged their blasts, using the ship's superior speed and maneuverability to stay one step ahead. "We're in!" Eva shouted as they breached the first layer of defenses. The ship's hull shuddered as a series of blasts hit their shields, but they held strong. Eva gritted her teeth, her eyes scanning the display in front of her. Ahead was the entrance, just a narrow gap in the mothership's defenses. She had to make it through, or they were done. "We have to get to the core," Riley said, her voice tense. "And fast." Eva nodded, guiding the ship through the chaos, narrowly avoiding alien fire. Her heart pounded in her chest, each second feeling like an eternity. The mothership loomed ahead, its massive size dwarfing everything around it. Inside, they would find the heart of the enemy, a place where they could end this nightmare. As they neared the core, the alien ship's defenses grew more intense. Automated turrets fired relentlessly. Eva's hands flew across the controls, making sharp turns to dodge the incoming blasts. But just as they approached the final barrier, the ship would hit hard, throwing everyone to the ground. "Eva," Riley shouted, "we can't keep going like this." Eva's vision blurred. She could feel the pain in her arm, but she ignored it. They couldn't stop now. With one final push, she broke through the last line of defense and flew straight into the mothership's heart. They were inside, but the real battle was just beginning. The interior of the mothership was unlike anything Eva had ever seen. The walls were smooth, dark, and metallic, pulsating with a strange energy. The air was thick with the hum of alien machinery, and strange lights flickered along the corridors. It felt like they were walking inside the heart of the enemy. Every step felt like a countdown to either victory or death. Eva, Riley, and the small team of soldiers moved quickly through the ship, their weapons ready, eyes constantly scanning for danger. The alien guards, those that hadn't been disabled by the virus they planted earlier, were still a serious threat, but there was no time to waste. "Stay close," Riley whispered, as they moved down another narrow corridor. The ship's interior was massive, and the deeper they went, the more they could feel the weight of the mission pressing on them. They had one shot to upload the virus into the core, and if they failed, the whole mission, along with Earth, was lost. Finally, they reached the central chamber, the heart of the mothership. In the center of the room was the core, a massive, glowing orb surrounded by a web of intricate alien machinery. The core was the ship's power source, the key to its control. But there was something else, something unexpected. A figure standing in the center of the room. It was Tyrek. Eva froze. The alien was standing tall, his glowing eyes fixed on her. He had promised to help them, but now he seemed different, almost cold. "Tyrek," Eva called out, her voice filled with confusion. "What are you doing here? You said you wanted to help us." Tyrek's expression remained unreadable. "I never wanted this war. But I am not the only one in control of the mothership. There are others, and they do not share my vision for peace." Eva felt a chill run down her spine. "You've been lying to us?" she asked, the weight of betrayal sinking in. Tarek's eyes softened, but his voice was firm. "I told you the truth. My people are divided. Some of us wanted peace, but there are factions that seek only power and destruction. The invasion was their doing." Eva could feel the urgency building inside her. The virus was ready. She had to act now. "Then help us stop them. We need to upload the virus before it's too late." Tyrek stepped aside, revealing the control panel for the mothership's core. "Do it quickly. The others are already on their way. They will stop you if they can." Riley moved forward, the virus device in her hands. She connected it to the control panel, and the screen blinked to life. A countdown appeared, ticking down the precious seconds they had left. The room was filled with an eerie silence as they watched the numbers fall. Then, suddenly, the alarms went off. The sound was deafening and red lights flashed across the walls. The door behind them slammed shut, trapping them inside. "We've got company," one of the soldiers shouted. Alien soldiers appeared in the doorway, armed and ready to fight. Eva stepped in front of the group, her voice steady. Riley finished the upload. We'll hold them off. Relly didn't hesitate. She focused on the panel, typing in commands as fast as she could. The soldiers raised their weapons, and the battle began. Bullets flew, alien weapons fired, and the sound of gunfire echoed through the chamber. Time was running out. The countdown on the screen reached its final seconds. Suddenly, with a loud "Seelang-me," the alien soldiers were knocked back. The room went silent. The virus had uploaded. The mothership's core began to flicker, its energy rapidly draining. The alien soldiers turned in confusion, unsure of what had happened. But it was too late. The mothership was losing power, its shields weakening. "We did it!" Riley shouted. But as the mothership began to crumble, the last alien leader appeared on the screen, his face filled with rage. "This is not over," he growled. "Your world will pay for this." The screen went black. The alien force was in retreat. Eva took a deep breath, relief flooding through her. The battle wasn't over, but Earth had survived. Humanity had faced extinction, yet they had fought back. And now, there was hope again. As the mothership exploded in the distance, sending shockwaves across the sky, Eva looked out over the horizon. Earth was scarred, but alive. And with the alien threat finally broken, humanity would rebuild. But they knew this. No matter what came next, they would never give up. They would never surrender. The war was over, but the fight for survival had just begun.